Welcome to the CPM Customer Success Podcast, where we help Office of Finance leaders enable an exact solution to enhance their corporate performance without spending countless nights and weekends in the office. Hi, I'm your host, Andy Smetana from Nova Advisory. Nova Advisory is a 100% OneStream professional services diamond implementation partner. We help OneStream customers and prospective OneStream customers get the most out of their OneStream investments. For CPM Customer Success listeners, we now have a weekly email newsletter to keep you informed on the latest CPM Customer Success news. By subscribing today, we'll keep you informed on episode releases, including customer success stories, OneStream interviews, and capabilities to keep you up to date about OneStream's unified platform for finance. You can check that out now at Nova Advisory's website, novaadvisory.com/podcast, and subscribe to the CPM Customer Success Podcast newsletter today. Today we're exploring how companies in the food manufacturing industry are modernizing their finance operations. We'll discuss the unique financial challenges in the food manufacturing sector and hear from 3 CPM customer success stories of how OneStream's unified finance platform has helped these organizations overcome their challenges. The food manufacturing business is unique. Think of everything that goes on behind bringing your favorite cereals, snacks, or protein products to the table. There's multiple production plants, there's complex supply chains, there's volatile commodity prices, and an ever-present pressure to keep costs low in a low-margin industry. So for finance teams, this translates to a maze of challenges. First challenge is disparate data and data silos. Many food manufacturers grew through acquisition or years of expansion, and they ended up with different ERPs, bespoke Excel models, and separate tools for budgeting or things like account reconciliations. Consolidating their financials from, say, a protein processing division, a packaging unit, and a new overseas subsidiary, all that can feel like assembling a giant jigsaw puzzle every month. Challenge 2, slow, outdated close processes. Traditional financial close often relies on manual data, extracts from source systems and spreadsheets, and when you have dozens of plants or business units, each emailing their different set of results, closing the books is slow and error-prone. Challenge 3, limited visibility into profit drivers. Food manufacturing CFOs need to track profitability at a granular level, by product line, customer region, even by ingredient or crop year. But legacy systems like older Hyperion or HFM, or even SAP BPC, they weren't designed for this level of detail. And separate point solutions don't easily communicate with one another. The result is often an incomplete picture. So you might see totals, costs, and revenues, but you lack quick answers to questions like, what product categories are squeezing our margins this quarter and why? Challenge 4, adapting to industry dynamics. The food sector is constantly buffeted by changes, things like commodity price swings, seasonal demand shifts, new product launches, and stringent food safety regulations. Finance teams in this industry need the agility to reforecast quickly and model scenarios such as, what if grain prices increase by 10%? Or what if we acquire a new brand in Europe? If your actuals live in one system and your budgets and forecasts are off in another, or worse, you have dozens of spreadsheets, answering these types of questions swiftly is nearly impossible. Each of our CPM customer success stories today will highlight a different scenario, from replacing a patchwork of legacy systems to meeting unique reporting needs on a tight timeline. Our first CPM customer success story centers on a 100-year-old family-owned poultry and meat producer. We'll call them Heritage Foods. Heritage had built a finance environment the way many legacy companies do, piece by piece. They used one system for consolidations, another for account reconciliations, and Excel for their budgeting and forecasting needs. Each month, the accounting team pulled data from multiple source systems and tools, and they manually stitched it all together in spreadsheets. It worked, but barely. The problems were mounting. There was no single source of the truth. Sales, operations, and finance often showed up to meetings with a different set of numbers. Variance analysis between actuals and budgets required manual alignment of data from different systems, which delayed their forecast by a week or more. The reconciliation software was also being sunset, which created urgency to modernize. Heritage Foods decided to unify everything in OneStream. They started with account reconciliations so they could meet their licensing deadlines, and they went live a week ahead of that deadline. Next came consolidations and close. They automated their ERP data loads, their intercompany eliminations, their workflows, and audit trails. And for the first time, this company also ended up with controls and visibility across their entire close process. Then they extended the platform to planning. They moved to workforce and OpEx budgeting. They got that out of Excel and then moved it into OneStream. Department managers entered budgets directly into guided forms, and FP&A could immediately consolidate their results and run scenarios. They also implemented lease accounting through the OneStream Solution Exchange, which eliminated another standalone spreadsheet model. The impact was dramatic. Close times dropped from 8 to 10 days to nearly half of that. Intercompany mismatches are now flagged automatically. Their account reconciliations are fully integrated into the close process. Their forecasting and reporting now take minutes, not days. The CFO now has real-time dashboards which show sales volumes, COGS, and operating income by protein, line, and region. When someone asks, well, how are we tracking against Q3 poultry targets, the answer is immediate. Perhaps more importantly, FP&A has reclaimed hundreds of hours per year. Instead of chasing numbers, they're analyzing margins, looking at pricing strategies, and commodity impacts. For a century-old food producer, this wasn't just a system upgrade. It was a transformation. That's what modernization looks like for a legacy organization. But what happens when speed and agility are the primary challenge? Well, this leads us to our second CPM Customer Success Story for this week. We'll call this company Prime Pack Foods, which is a fast-growing mid-market protein manufacturer. Prime Pack expanded quickly through acquisitions, including European subsidiaries and new product launches, but their finance systems couldn't keep up. They were using an aging on-prem consolidation tool combined with Excel. Each acquisition brought a new ERP. Consolidating financials required manual data wrangling, currency adjustments, and reconciliations. And because production runs on a weekly cycle, leadership needed weekly P&L reporting, something their monthly oriented system couldn't handle. Their pain points were clear: complex foreign consolidation across different accounting standards, limited visibility into submission status during their financial close, manual weekly P&L creation in Excel, and no scalable foundation for growth. They needed a unified system fast. In just a few months, PrimePack implemented OneStream for financial close and consolidations. They automated their ERP integrations wherever possible, and they used controlled Excel uploads for smaller business divisions. All their entities mapped into a single standardized chart of accounts with automated currency translations and consolidations. Most importantly, they built a weekly reporting structure within the OneStream platform. They had a custom weekly calendar and allocation model that allowed monthly budgets to automatically spread into weekly targets. Now, every Monday, the system produces an updated year-to-date P&L by week with instant comparisons to their plan. What used to take hours and hours in spreadsheets, merging all that data together, it's now automated. The results were a modernized financial consolidation in just under 6 months, the smoothest close in their company history, automated intercompany matching dashboards weekly P&L delivered every Monday afternoon, and drill down visibility to product lines or customer levels. Instead of debating whose spreadsheet is right, finance and operations now meet together on a shared dashboard, and conversations have shifted from data validation to performance improvements. So let's consider another scenario. This is CPM Customer Success Story number 3 for the week, which is a global manufacturer of food flavorings and extracts. We'll call this company Flavor Fusion. Flavor Fusion specializes in flavor ingredients for food and beverage providers worldwide. They have operations in North America, Europe, and Asia. The company expanded internationally, including a major acquisition by a European parent company. Its finance team faced mounting complexities. Flavor Fusion's legacy consolidation process was struggling to keep up with its global footprint. Each region maintained separate financial processes, and attempts to consolidate results led to mismatched numbers and endless reconciliations. Multiple currencies were involved, and currency conversion differences, things like foreign exchange translation adjustments, weren't being handled correctly. The CFO often found that the balance sheet wouldn't balance across entities due to these issues. Intercompany transactions between the company's regional units also didn't reconcile smoothly. That led to last-minute adjustments every single close. They had begun implementing OneStream to fix these problems, but the initial setup was incomplete. The system wasn't fully configured to support their global business requirements, which resulted in continued manual workarounds, things like plug entries to force balance books. To right the ship, Flavor Fusion partnered with Nova Advisory to restructure and enhance their OneStream application. The project focused on establishing a single unified OneStream platform for all the regions. This meant designing a common data model that could support both U.S. and international operations, while consolidating multiple general ledgers and financial processes into one cohesive system. The team reconfigured OneStream's foreign currency translation logic to properly handle their currency conversions and their cumulative translation adjustments, so that each subsidiary's results would accurately convert to the group's reporting currencies without manual fixes. They also cleared up intercompany accounting setups, standardizing how intercompany accounts and partner entities were defined, which enabled OneStream's built-in intercompany matching to automatically eliminate balances between Flavor Fusion's units. The company also implemented OneStream's account reconciliation solution to improve their balance sheet integrity, replacing old voucher-based reconciliations processes with a transparent, automated workflow. Throughout the project, the approach was iterative and collaborative. The Flavor Fusion team and Nova Advisory worked together to prototype solutions, test with actual data, and refine the system to fit Flavor Fusion's unique needs, such as blending their statutory requirements with their global reporting standards. In a matter of months, Flavor Fusion's finance function was transformed. They emerged with a single source of truth for their financial data, where their regional teams and their corporate headquarters all report on one system. The immediate impact was faster, cleaner close. Monthly consolidations now run with minimal manual adjustments, and the pesky currency translation discrepancies have all been resolved, so the balance sheet balances to the penny. The CFO of Flavor Fusion can trust the consolidated financial statements, confident in the system is accurately capturing currency impacts and intercompany eliminations, so there's no more late-night troubleshooting those mysterious gaps. With OneStream's unified platform, the company also gained new insights. They're able to drill down from consolidated results into each region's performance. They can even analyze profitability by product line across their different markets, all within the same application. This level of analysis was impossible before, when the data was scattered and unreliable in different systems. Now armed with timely, trustworthy information, Flavor Fusion's finance leaders can make better strategic decisions such as where they invest in capacity or how to price their products in various countries. That's all grounded in a clear view of their global financial performance. Perhaps just as important, the transformation renewed the finance team's morale. By fixing the system design issues and adopting OneStream's best practices, Flavor Fusion's accountants and FP&A analysts are no longer stuck wrestling with spreadsheets and patching errors. They've reclaimed their time for value-added analysis, for instance, assessing the financial impact of new flavor innovation projects, or hedging strategies for ingredient costs instead of fixing consolidation problems. In a business where consistency and precision are vital, in both recipes and financials, Flavor Fusion's OneStream journey ensured that their finance operations now had the right balance of control, accuracy, and agility. So as we've heard today, a unified CPM platform can drive significant change for finance teams in the food and manufacturing industry. It's a family-run business modernizing decades-old processes, or a nimble mid-sized company demanding faster insights. The common thread is clear. Breaking down silos and automating manual work frees finance leaders to focus on strategic value. In an industry where margins are tight and the business environment can shift with a change in consumer tastes or input costs, having timely, accurate financial information is critical. For CFOs and FP&A leaders in the food manufacturing industries, the message is encouraging. You can get out of the weeds of reconciling reports, spend more time on decision support. You can standardize and speed up your close despite sprawling operations, and you can achieve the holy grail, a single source of truth for actuals, budgets, and forecasts, even if your company has been running the same way for 50 or 100 years. The experiences of the customers in our stories today show that finance transformation is not a far-off dream. It's happening right now in organizations much like yours. Thanks for joining us for this episode of CPM Customer Success. Reminder to check out the CPM Customer Success weekly email newsletter to stay informed of the latest CPM Customer Success episodes and OneStream news. You can check that out now at the Nova Advisory website, novaadvisory.com/podcast, and subscribe to the CPM Customer Success Podcast email newsletter today. Thanks again for listening, and I'll catch you next week for another episode of CPM Customer Success.